I once placed my hand between my legs and felt nothing but sadness. I thought maybe that place was dead. But one night when he touched me, I arched my back just a little and the wetness came back. My name is Claire. I'm 55, a wife, a mother, a woman who once knew how to love and then forgot. In the early years of marriage, I was soft like petals, always drenched in desire. We could make love anytime, on the kitchen floor, behind closed doors, in the middle of the night. He used to whisper, "Your body is where I belong." He loved tracing my waist, sliding his hand down my back, and I would instinctively curl into him, breathless. When he kissed the hollow of my collarbone, I would swell with warmth. Sometimes I would guide his hand between my thighs, letting him follow my rhythm, like a mating dance only I knew. We were not just husband and wife. We were fire and flame, giving and taking, tangled and electric. Every night was a discovery. My body responded like it remembered every touch, every breath, every whisper. But then I disappeared. Into diapers, into cooking, into nights waiting for a fever to break. I lost myself in motherhood and duties and silence. My body stopped being touched. I couldn't remember the last time I reached for him. When he tried, I flinched, not from tiredness, from fear. Fear that I was no longer a woman, that my breasts had sagged, my belly softened, my sex dried out. I didn't want him to see me. I just wanted him to stop trying. Whenever he moved closer, I rolled away and pretended to sleep. When he called my name in the dark, I answered with silence. I blamed menopause, hormones, age. But the truth is, I let my fire die. I forgot I was once a woman who loved. Then one day, during a routine checkup, the doctor said gently, "You could try collagen each night. Not just for skin, also for hormones, for your feminine rhythm." I chuckled. Collagen, that's for young girls. But that night, I mixed a scoop into warm water, not expecting much, just hoping, maybe a little. By the first week, I was sleeping better. The second, I left the light on while changing. The third, I stood before the mirror, touching the curve of my lower belly. For the first time in years, I whispered to myself, "You're still you, and you still deserve love." That night, I pulled out an old gray silk nightgown, not to seduce him, to seduce myself. I lay sideways, soft lamplight casting warmth over my curves. I caressed my thighs slowly, letting my hand wander between my legs. I didn't go deep, just rested my fingers at the entrance where I once trembled every time he whispered. I lingered, breathed, felt. My fingertips moved in slow circles, like calling back a memory. The wetness didn't come instantly, but when it did, it wasn't just physical. It was emotional, like my body remembered being touched, being desired. I closed my eyes and let the warmth spread down my stomach, into my thighs, into my chest. I wasn't rushing toward climax. I was reclaiming space, space that used to belong to me, space I had abandoned. And for the first time in years, I moaned, quietly, from myself. When he came to bed, I didn't turn away. I let my foot brush against his. He looked at me, surprised. I whispered, "I'm wet." His eyes widened, as if the woman he once knew had come back. We didn't rush. His hand touched my chest, slid to my belly, slowly, like asking, "Is it really you?" I didn't reply with words. I arched my hips toward him, where he was already growing hard. When his fingers slipped between my legs for the first time in years, my thighs closed around them by reflex. He kissed me, not urgently, but reverently, as if rediscovering something sacred. And I let him, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I didn't climax that night, but I cried because my body said, "Welcome home." The next morning, I didn't wake up with guilt. I woke up with a smile. I looked at him sleeping beside me, his mouth slightly open, a snore brewing in his chest, and I felt something strange. Gratitude for not giving up on me, for not walking away when I shut every door. I slid out of bed, walked to the bathroom, and stood in front of the mirror, naked, fully. Not sucking in my belly, not hiding my breasts, just standing, looking. And then I touched myself. Again, not in lust, but in gratitude. Each curve, each scar, each soft fold had held me through births, stress, neglect. I rubbed lotion into my thighs, my belly, under my arms. Then, without overthinking it, I touched between my legs. Still soft, but not dry. Still warm, still mine. I whispered, "Thank you," to a body I had cursed for years. Better than okay. That night when we got in bed, I didn't wear the thick cotton pajamas. I wore lace, and I left the lights on. He looked at me like it was our wedding night. He came closer. I didn't retreat. I spread my legs just a little, and his breath caught. I pulled him down gently and said, "Don't ask, just feel." And he did.